Yo, this is Rant Kid. This is Rant Kid with a fucking bone to pick with IGN. And I ruined who I was going to talk about soon. But this is kind of questions the integrity of IGN. Now, I know people play blah, blah, blah. They're too big. They're owned by Fox. Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's no real proof for me to discredit IGN for wanting to get bigger and expand. But what this is referring to is their fucking early reviews and their motives, pretty much. Now, I like to think of the podcasters that I listen to, like Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller. I don't have to name them. I'll just name Game Scoop, Nintendo Voice Chat, and of course Podcast Beyond. So I don't really go to the site much. I just listen to their podcast. But this is why I don't go to their site, and I don't really read their reviews. I listen to what the guys have to say on the podcast, but I never look at reviews, mainly because of shit like this. Early reviews. Now, some may say, well, they have to get it up as soon as possible. And, you know, I understand that's a business thing, but fuck that shit. They should be honest journalists. And, like, for one thing, even single-player games, like, by the time the game comes out, we're going to get a patch version of the game. But they're reviewing an earlier version of it. So, what review should reflect is what you're going to get on a day one purchase. So, obviously, if they review a buggy piece of shit copy of the game and give it a bad score, people aren't going to buy it. But then they came out with a patch like a week later, and the game was perfectly fine, then what? They don't deserve that score. Now, I don't know how often they go and change the score, but I'm pretty sure, like, if IGN doesn't do it all the time, there's a lot of sites that don't as well. So, it's like, play the actual version of the game that I'm going to be buying on release day. And especially, not the single-player games aren't even really the problem. What is the problem are multiplayer games. And the main example is SOCOM 4, which recently came out. So let's see. I'm going to do a search in IGN for SOCOM 4 review. Oh, nice search engine. Fuck SOCOM Confrontation. Yep, that's exactly what I did. So what the fuck is this shit? SOCOM 3 searches down. There you go. So this game was reviewed on April 12th. And the release date is April 19th. Now, first of all, Jack DeVries, you're awesome. I loved your Yoshi article. That was pretty damn awesome. So this isn't a knock on you as a reviewer, but on IGN. Because I know that you didn't decide to do it early. You were probably told to. Or I hope that's the case. So the game comes out on the 19th, but this review came out in exactly a week early. Now, here's the thing. When SOCOM ups their server, whether they do it on release day or before, they're obviously not overloading it with everyone playing it. Well, I mean, they're not going to overload with a small game like SOCOM 4, but you know what I mean. The only people that are on these servers at April 12th, or hell, he probably played it like a week or two before that. You're only playing it with like the few people that are on, so there's really no lag, or who knows what their experience was. But obviously in this one it was pretty good from what I remember from the review. But what if the game comes out and the servers fucking crash and you can't play because it's primarily an online game? That's why people buy it. That's a huge component. That's not like 50%. That's like, to me, like 80% of the game is how important how good the online is. So if I pick it up day one, which this review is supposed to reflect a day one purchase, so even quoted by this guy, IGN PS3's Greg Miller, it is. The review should reflect a snapshot of of the released frame. You said it. Don't deny it, Greg Miller. Beyond. So yeah, that fucking pisses me off, and I wish that you guys didn't go and rush out the reviews. I know that you have no control over it, but maybe say something, because it's kind of ruining your integrity.